Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, world. Welcome to episode 56 of Ball Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jared, with my lovely counter host, Starkey. Starkey, how we doing today?
We're good, my man. How are you doing?
This Mississippi weather is killing me. How it was
Same.
50 degrees here last week, and now it's in the mid 70s.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be raining the next 4 or 5 days, and my sinuses are killing me right now. But hey, that's fine. March Madness, this is just a sign that March Madness is literally right around the corner. Selection Sunday is 4 days away.
Tis the season.
It is. It is the season. I'm not going to lie, that Thursday or Friday is one of my favorite days in the sports world.
Yes.
Just because it's nonstop basketball from 11 a.m. all the way to midnight.
Yeah.
If we're lucky. Some nights it goes to 1, 2 in the morning with overtimes.
Reminds
I'm
me
ex-
of a long time ago when they would have the 24 hours.
Oh yeah, the
Like
24-hour bracket. Yeah, the little ESPN do the little bracket stuff. I
yeah.
think they still do that, but I'll never watch it anymore.
And then I
Uh,
know for like madness games before season started, you would have these random like Pac-12 teams tip off at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I remember it was the year before. It was my freshman year of college. I wasn't at Ole Miss yet. They played Oregon at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I love that. That we need to get back to that.
We do need to get back to that.
Gotta say, we need some positivity in this world. We've had a rough 96 hours almost as Grizzly fans.
Yes.
John Morant was a dumb 23-year-old. We'll get into that later on. Brandon Clark has a torn Achilles. So we're not doing too good right there, folks. And we lost another game on Sunday. Ton to talk about. NFL Combine was here. We got some winners and losers. Just some big takeaways from that. NFL franchise tag, what the deadline was today. Some people did get tagged. Local Memphis boy, Tony Pollard, got paid $10 million. We got March Madness coming, and we got NBA notes. It's going to be a great show. A lot to talk about today.
Lots to talk about tonight.
My dad already said, yeah, it's going to be about a 2-hour show. I said, I hope not. But we'll see. We'll see how the roads carry us.
We better get a move on then.
So let's start off with the NFL Combine. Starkey, did you watch any of it?
See, the combine is usually such a weird time that I never get to watch any of it live, but I make sure to try to catch up with highlights and news and stats.
Do you know what one of the best things they did was start allowing fans to come to it?
Yes.
Like, Roger, where have you been? Where has this been? Like, why have you not already been doing this?
There's no telling.
I'd pay money to go to it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Just make a weekend of it.
So of course, the quarterback topics killed it. The quarterback group was the main topic, and this is a quarterback deep draft.
Quarterback heavy.
Yeah, we'll go the heavy part. So I would say the biggest winner of this weekend was Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
Measured in and weighed in at 6'4", 244 pounds. As a quarterback, ran a 4.43 40, set 2 NFL Combine records with a 40.5-inch vertical and a 10-foot 0.9 inches broad jump.
Yeah.
He looked the part of it, the number one pick. The biggest thing they kept showing about his highlights and everyone kept saying his accuracy is terrible.
Yes.
I went back later on Friday night when I couldn't sleep after the whole jaw incident. After I saw Brandon BC tear his Achilles before the jaw stuff broke, I was watching Anthony Richardson highlights. The guy's terrible.
Yeah, he's not good. I pity the franchise who drafts him.
So don't get me wrong. Now I remember we still had questions when Lamar was coming out over accuracy. And Josh Allen, same thing.
Yes.
Can he throw? Yeah, accuracy.
He
I
can
don't
throw
think
it a
this
mile
guy.
and a half, but
Oh
he
gosh,
can't
this
get it
guy's
to the
deep ball is
mile.
beautiful.
Oh, he
But
has the habit for an arm.
I think he's gonna be a major bust. But I do think after this weekend, he has solidified himself as a top 3 quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's put himself over Levis for the third quarterback taken.
I will put it on record and say he will be a top 5 draft pick.
I can see that.
Another winner, even though he didn't run, was Will Levis. 6'4",
Yep.
229, but his throwing, his arm was on display. And next, Josh Allen 2.0. It's
I
weird that
mean,
we're already
I think the comp's there.
the comp's there, but is the player there?
True. That's it. That's the question. That's what he's gonna have to prove whenever he gets to the pros.
So I was texting Eric from the B team. Listen to them every Wednesday. They record Wednesday night. Podcast usually goes out late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Just plugging them as always. He texted me and said, "Whoever the Colts draft, he's going to buy their jersey." I am holding him to this because he said even if they draft Anthony Richardson, AR-15, or Will Levis, baby Josh Allen, he will buy their jersey. I am petitioning right now for the Colts to draft one of the two. Screw Stroud and screw Bryce Young. Let's get them in a Colts uniform. Levis and Richardson. Bryce Young, I think he was a loser in the draft. Or not the combine, sorry.
Yeah, the combine.
Just because his body's so itty bitty.
Yeah.
5'10", 204 pounds. He's not the most athletic guy. I think Kyler Murray's not that big either, but Kyler Murray's super athletic. And don't get me wrong, if Bryce Young was 6'1", he'd be the lock at number 1.
Oh yeah.
If he was 2 inches taller, he'd be a lock at 1. It's just the fact that Bryce Young's so small. He's got a small frame. He's not the most athletic person in the world. How are you going to get him to see over an offensive line that probably average height is 6'6"?
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that one of the most recent Alabama quarterbacks taken is dealing with concussion injuries because his body can't hold up in the NFL. And Tua is a rather small quarterback.
Yes.
Next is C.J. Stroud. He didn't really do anything this weekend. He just answered questions, and the fact that
he answered them wrong.
He answered the biggest one wrong when they asked him who like some of his role models growing up were. He said Michael Vick and Deshaun Watson.
Literally in recent memory, the two quarterbacks that you don't want to be
two of the most controversial quarterbacks in the NFL. So yeah, not a good weekend for CJ Stroud. I think that some character judgment hurt him there. And another guy that really got hurt was Jalen Carter.
Yes.
We talked last week on the show about how the news broke. He had a warrant out for his arrest for the street racing that killed a teammate and a recruiter coordinator for the University of Georgia. Mm-hmm. I have seen him fall anywhere from top 5, where he was supposed to go originally. I've seen Todd McShay release today, him going 12. I've seen other mock drafts have him going to 20, 22, 23, in that range. Because the main issue is people are questioning his character.
Yep. I mean, it seems like in recent memory, there's always that one high-profile player that starts to fall right before the draft hits. I mean, a few years ago, you saw it with Remy Tunsil. This year, it's Jalen Carter.
Well, remember, Tunsil's got released an hour before the draft. So he had no time to do any media, any time to recover that from the media. Any good PR. But with Carter, he was already a project player. And now you got the fact this guy literally is drag racing and got a teammate killed. A little question. I do have some more winners, and then I'm gonna get to yours. Okay. an Arkansas boy here. He played at Toledo and Georgia. Matt Landers measured in at 6'4", 200 pounds, but he ran a 4.340 at 6'4",
Okay.
37-inch vert, and a 10-foot, 10-inch broad jump.
Wow.
Basically, he's got major upside because he came on late for Arkansas this year. He's gonna probably be a day 3 pick, maybe a late day 2 pick, but definitely day 3, I would say. Tons of upside, big project guy, if you can get that to work. The next guy is a guy not many people know about, Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Okay.
Okay. I want to read his physical stats to you. I want you to think who this comes to mind. 6'4", 221, wide receiver.
Okay.
Ran the 40 in a 4.38. Okay.
Okay.
41-inch vertical. 10-foot broad jump. 10-foot, 9-inch broad jump. What wide receiver do you think he's getting some comparisons to in a physical trait wise?
Read his height and weight again.
6'4", 221.
I don't know.
DK Metcalf.
That makes sense. I was thinking it was
had,
either going to be DK or AJ Brown, but I couldn't pick between the two.
So DK had similar stats to it. He ran the 40. DK was a 4.340, a 40-inch broad jump, and a 40-inch vertical, and an 11-foot, 2-inch broad jump. So a lot of people already comparing him to the next DK, and DK is a freaking stud.
Yeah, he's a monster.
I have 2 more guys that I'm done. Then you. Another guy, Darnell Washington.
Okay.
6'7", 264-pound tight end. Ran the 40 at 4.64 seconds, 31-inch vert, 10-foot, 2-inch broad jump, 11-inch hands. Basically, at Georgia, he was used as a blocking tight end. Behind their stud. Who was their stud again?
Brock Bowers.
He basically Brock Bowers to the number 1. He was the number 2. This guy's a freaking beast. He's now soaring into first round. I would love Dallas to get him.
Yes.
I would love Dallas. I have 3 prospects real fast. It's Drew Sanders, him, Darnell Washington, and Jordan Addison. The 3 guys I want. And Quentin Johnson if he falls. And then Kalijahu Caden from Pittsburgh. 6'1", 281 pounds, ran the 40 in 4.67 seconds. People based on his size and tape comparisons, the next Aaron Donald. Then it's real fast. Sorry, Max Duggan and Stinson Bennett both balled out. Both Bennett ran a 4.640, but you saw the limitations on his throwing abilities. He doesn't have the arm power. I want your thoughts on this. I think he'll be like a Kellen Moore, Ian Book guy, or was Davis Webb guy. He'll get one or 2 starts in the NFL. Okay.
Yeah.
He'll make a team, have 1 or 2 starts in week 16, 17, 18.
Garbage time of the season.
After that, he'll be a coach at some point in his career.
Yeah. 100%.
Who are some of your winners and losers?
So I've got 2 winners specifically, and I don't have their stats in front of me right now. But I'm going to go Mr. Nolan Smith.
Ooh,
Nolan from Georgia.
So Nolan, I actually have him pulled up. He ran the 40 in 4.39 seconds. He had a 41.5-inch vertical and 10-foot, 8-inch broad jump.
And what were his measurables?
6'2", 238.
My guy was moving.
He already had a first round vibe to him, And I just think with that, he's going to solidify himself as probably a mid-range first-round draft pick.
I agree.
Who's your other winner?
So keep an eye out as potentially, because it's not a super deep wide receiver class this year. Keep your eye out for Mr. Jackson Smith Najiba. I believe I'm saying his last name right. Wide receiver from Ohio State.
So, yes, remember, he was supposed to be the number one wide receiver in this draft, but due to all his injuries this year, he didn't really produce much this year at Ohio State. He did not run the 40, but he had a 35-inch vertical and a 10-foot, 5-inch broad jump. He just had a bad last year at Ohio State, super injury riddled, but his sophomore year, guy was a baller.
Yes. Those two, especially if Jackson is able to run at his pro day, keep your eye on those two guys. As like you said, that middle of the pack first round selections.
I like that. So let's jump. We've had some other breaking news here this week, or the past couple of days. We've had with a franchise tag deadline coming up, teams had to decide, and we've had some roster cuts, like Derek Carr, cut from the Raiders.
Salary cap.
Finally got cut. He got cut, and then he met with the Saints. Or he already been cut. Sorry, and then he met with the Saints, and then they agreed 4-year, $150 million contract.
Yeah,
that's going to be a scary deal there. But here's the thing, too, though. Kamara may not be playing next year.
No.
Because you got to think, the NFL already said, hey, we're going to investigate him next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not. And he's already got the video's already been out there, and they got audio clips saying he said it felt good jumping that guy.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes did not get the. What I thought was going to happen with the Giants, I thought they were going to franchise tag Danny Dimes and pay Saquon.
Yes.
They said, a skirt.
We're going to flip that around on you, Jared.
How about the fact Danny Dimes got a 4-year, $140 million contract? $82 million guaranteed.
Since when is Daniel Jones a $40 million a year quarterback?
Where did I miss this? I mean,
and then sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think they're going to regret this.
I 100% agree. And then they, like you said, tagged Saquon at 10 years.
They literally gave the guy that has thrown his best year throwing touchdowns was his rookie year.
Yeah.
20 last year he threw 15 touchdowns. Starkey, how many years do you think he's had a winning record?
I'm going to say 1.
It was this year.
Yeah.
My boy Lamar can't even get a fully guaranteed contract, but freaking Daniel Jones can get an $82 million.
Okay, so my thing with Lamar, okay?
Oh, we'll get to this here, yes. So let's go ahead and jump to it. So they franchise Saquon, okay, just typical running back, $10 million. They franchised Lamar, $32 million.
Yeah.
So the Ravens have the rights. Other teams can't offer him a contract. But with that contract, or with that being said, they have the right to countersign it, or they can counter it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar wants the bag.
Yes.
He deserves the bag.
And with that too, I read today that if Lamar goes to another team, which the Atlanta Falcons have already come out and said they're not going after Lamar. Apparently they believe in Desmond Ridder. Don't know why. But if Lamar were to sign somewhere else, I believe I read that Baltimore can get 2 first-round draft picks for him.
He's worth it.
Absolutely, he's worth it. My thing with Lamar, I love him to death. He's an incredible quarterback, great leader, like the guy you want as your face of the franchise. he needs to get an agent.
No, he's doing good. Hey, him and his mom are doing a good job. They want the bag and they're going to get the bag. Somebody's going to pay that man.
I hope he gets the bag.
Or he's going to Kirk Cousins it and just get franchise tagged every single year.
Hey, it worked out for Cousins.
And look what look at he's putting up great numbers with sorry wide receivers. His best year was his second year in NFL, 36-6, his first year starting. His numbers have declined, but so is his receiving core.
So is his entire offense. He literally only has Mark Andrews. That's all the man has.
That's all he's had.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's not like Patrick Mahomes where you just give the man Travis Kelce and then he can make everybody else look good.
I mean, Lamar can, but you guys still got like Juju's still well known.
Right.
Is Juju legit? No. I mean, Juju what he was a couple years ago? No.
No, absolutely not.
Just listen to their receiving core right now. Okay.
Okay.
James Proche, Demarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvemary. Sorry, I can't pronounce that name. Eric's going to text me for it. Tarek Black, Shamar Bridges, Andy Isabel, Mike Thomas, not the New Orleans Saints, Mike Thomas, and Bjorn Victor. That's his wide receiving core from last year.
I've never heard of half of those guys, and I'm pretty sure Tarek Black is a basketball player.
No, Tarek Black played at Michigan and Texas.
I kid, I'm not that dumb. But I rest my case.
Bam, bam, bam. But yeah, pay the man. We also had another guy bet on himself. He was supposed to be the second string quarterback. Geno Smith.
Yes.
Got
absolutely earned the contract he signed today.
3 years, $105 million.
Shout out to Geno.
Hey, he earned it. It was well deserved. I wrote him off. I don't think anybody had him.
Oh no, it was because it was supposed to be Drew Lock.
It was, and then
I'm sorry.
Drew Lock got sick with the flu. And then Geno took the starting reins and just ran with it.
And he was never heard from again.
So before we leave the NFL, now we got more and more stuff going on. The Jets with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think it's a foregone conclusion. At this point, I will be shocked if he's not a Jet than if he is. Because I think the Packers are ready to give the keys to Jordan Love.
Are we ready for a world that has Aaron Rodgers and the New York media together?
No, but I'm here for it at the same time.
That kind of worries me. The guy's already kind of weird as it is. Yeah. And now you're giving him free range to say whatever he wants to probably the worst media world.
Mm-hmm.
But look at who would he be joining. Michael Carter and Breece Hall.
Yeah.
He'll have Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson as his star wide receivers. And Braxton Berrios isn't still bad. And he got Tyler Conklin and CJ Usmanzah, sorry. And a great offensive line.
The only thing keeping that offense from being absolutely elite is the quarterback play.
Their best quarterback all year was Matt White.
Yeah.
Their best quarterback all year was Mike White.
If you put Aaron Rodgers in that offense, guaranteed at the very least playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And something else that I think gets overlooked, he would be back with Nathaniel Hackett.
Ooh, that's a good one. So let's jump to the NBA.
Do we have to?
We've been putting so it feels like Saturday morning was forever ago.
It really does.
So Saturday night sucked. We won, we lost.
Yep.
And then it makes matters worse with Braden Clark. As soon as it happened, I'm sitting in my recliner going, he just tore his Achilles.
Yeah. As soon as BC
You
went down with, they said, an ankle injury or a foot injury, we all knew it was an Achilles.
anytime he planted his foot, went after the rebound, and that's when
Yep.
he grabbed it. I said, oh crap. That's
Yeah.
either a knee or an ankle. And then when he grabbed the ankle, I said, yep, that's Achilles.
Yep.
The worst thing is BC is the most I would say he's second most athletic guy on the team. Behind Josh.
I can say that.
And his game style, he lives above the rim. He's
Yep.
your high flying big man off the bench, super energy, your putback guy, your floater king, all that. Get your board. He gets your board and set screen rolls. The Achilles is the worst injury to ever recover from. It takes the longest to recover from, and it does, apparently, they've said it does take some time away from, or it does take a little bit of athletic ability away from you.
Mhm.
And he's could lose some explosiveness. It's what makes him BC.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then we lost. And then
that's just what happened on the court.
And then off the court around 3 o'clock in the morning, it starts
We
breaking.
lost again.
We took a massive L. We've only talked a little about that, but I want to get your opinions. I told him I want to get his straight shot. I want to hear what he has to say about it. Breaking news that morning, you see Ja Morant Instagram Live with a gun. And you're just thinking, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, say it isn't. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, this has got to be a little fake media outlet stuff. Click the link. There's Ja Morant shirtless in a club with a gun in his hand.
Yeah.
And your heart just drops. You're like, what?
It's like, just say it's not so. That's what we were all asking ourselves. Or just telling ourselves, just say it ain't so.
Because this happened at 3 o'clock our time, we all were asleep.
Yep.
I do have several people that watched it, and they said that were up at the time. They were working night shift, stuff like that. They said they clicked it, they watched it, and because they were shocked he was even doing an Instagram Live after a loss. And the guy's got a nasal fracture. He has a broken bone in his face, and he's going out clubbing.
That's something that I think is, with all of this stuff going on, that's what's gotten overlooked. The man is out partying, like you said, no shirt on. I'm sure we'll talk about it in a second. Completely out of it with a busted
wasted on some Casamigos, the official drink of the Memphis Grizzlies. They said he was plastered out of his mind. Chris Vernon said one of his buddies saw it, and they saw a guy type in there saying, dude, this is your real account. John noticed it. And next thing you know, the Instagram Live ended.
Yes.
That's when he went, oh, crap. And then more and more news breaks. It's all over TV that Saturday. You're like, oh, crap. I'm getting blown up by people from work, people from college. I got family members that know somewhat decent amount of basketball that are asking me my opinions on all this crap.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's not good.
No, not at all.
Because it starts off, where'd he get the gun? How'd he get the gun out to Denver?
How did he get the gun inside the club?
So one of the biggest things, and we'll get into our opinions here in a second, is the investigation will be, this is going to also determine, I believe, Ja's suspension.
Yes, because I don't think there's any question he's going to get suspended.
He's already been suspended 2 games by the Grizzlies, and he's out indefinitely. He's getting help. He needs it. Was the gun on the plane?
We were
Because
talking about this.
it originally got reported. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
Oh, okay. So originally got reported that that if it was on the plane, a team little place venue, it's automatic 50-game suspension minimum.
Yeah.
And then Mark Stein tweeted out, said, "Hey, I had it wrong. It's actually up to the commissioner." Because the last time this happened was Gilbert Arenas.
Yes.
Back when he pulled the gun on, I think, I can't remember who it was. But he ended up getting suspended for 50 games that year.
Wasn't that after he shot himself in the leg?
No, you're thinking of Plaxico Burgers.
I'm thinking Plaxico Burress. You're right.
It was 2009. He had a gun in the locker room. Him and Jarvis Critton pulled guns on each other. You know where Jarvis Critton is right now?
Where?
He's in jail for murder and drug charges.
Yikes.
He's sentenced to 23. And remember this, I'm going to use him as an example later on. He's in jail for 23 years.
Ooh. That's horrible.
Because he kept running with the wrong crowd. So Mark Stein said, "Hey, my bad. That was just the previous ones. Actually up to Adam Silver to determine Josh's suspension and the CPA. The players' union to decide what is his suspension going to be."
Yeah.
Basically, my thoughts on the thing, like, how dumb can you be?
The scary thing is, and I'm glad he's getting the help he needs, because like you said, he clearly needs it. But what I'm scared to do is ask that question, and then he answers it with something even dumber than what he's already done.
So the good thing is he has taken full responsibility. Chris Vernon said it himself here, and I was listening to the show the other day. This could have been this is a very super bad situation.
Oh yeah,
it could have been worse. A young 23-year-old kid in a club in Denver wearing $500,000 around his neck, drunk. Somebody tries to take it or touch him or pisses him off. He pulls the gun on him and pops.
Yeah.
Or just pulls the gun on him. That's even worse.
Yeah.
Ja's got to grow up.
He has to. I remember who I was talking to, but it may have been you. It's been a long 96 hours for all of us. But the one thing holding Ja back is the fact that he's still a kid.
So that's what my wife keeps saying. She goes, "You got to think he's only 23 years. 23 years." I'm like, I get that, but at some point you have to grow up.
Absolutely. He's an immature kid.
We all have done stuff. I've done stuff I'm not proud of in my early 20s. I know you're probably the same way. That if it made the news, I'd get shamed on it and crapped on.
Yep.
I mean, you're in the same boat, aren't you? If stuff came out of what you did in your early 20s got released, I'd probably lose. You know what I mean? So we'd be in trouble. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be good.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I'm getting at. We all did stuff we're not proud of. We all were stupid at one point in our lives. Issue is, you're a superstar.
Yes.
You had, till he deactivated his accounts, millions of followers on Instagram and Twitter. You're a role model to so many. Grow up. I get it. Maybe it's the stress and all the pressure of what what everybody expects from him. Maybe it's that. Maybe he can't cope with it sometimes. Alcohol is not the answer.
No, it's not.
You getting drunk, posting up with a gun after you've had allegedly a gun charge and a teen beating in the same accusation,
Yep.
And then you had a red laser incident from the Pacers.
Yep.
And then you literally pull the gun in your video. How are we supposed to defend you and the other two when you're literally posting up in a club with a gun in your hand?
Right.
Granted, we don't know if the gun is his or not. They're investigating that right now. And the only saving grace for him is if somebody says it's my gun. Chris Carter said it better himself. You have to have a fall guy. And I pray for Josh's sake, he has a fall guy in this case.
Yeah.
If he wants to play at some point the remaining of the year, he has to have a fall guy. I hope he does. But he does need to take ownership for his actions. He's already said that in his apology. But you are a generational talent.
Yep.
So many franchises in every sport dream of getting you.
Yes.
There's a lot of franchises that have never got you. You have literally been down by players such as LeBron, KD, Kyrie, Kawhi, other players like that, Conley, and other veterans like Shaq, Kenny Smith, Kendrick Perkins have literally said, you are the and Jalen Rose have literally said, you are the next face of the NBA.
Not just the Grizzlies. The entire NBA.
Once LeBron and KD have retired, they have literally said it is Ja's NBA. It's Ja's world.
Yes. Yes. Everyone else is just living in it.
Right now, you can make the argument he's the best Grizzly of all time.
Yeah.
In his 4th year in the NBA.
Yes.
And the Grizzlies have been around for what now? 20-something years now?
22, I think.
22 years now. And you're literally saying a guy that's been in the NBA for 4 years is the best player in the Grizzlies' history.
Yeah.
Over three potential Hall of Famers. 4 potential Hall of Famers.
Yes. Makes no sense.
You have to surround yourself with better people.
That's where it starts. Absolutely.
You have to toss your homeboys to the side. The ones that just want to party and that just want to hang out with you because you're rich, you need to toss them to the curb.
Yeah. You got to get rid of them.
Better yourself.
Listen to the veteran leadership of the team. Because I believe it was today?
It was last night. Your boy Shams broke it.
Okay, yeah, Shams broke it. He said that. Yeah.
I know you said Shams. I call him Shams. You call him Shams.
Before that game even happened, Saturday, Steven Adams, who still isn't even back with the team right now, called a players-only meeting and said, we have got to get, for lack of a better term, we've got to get our crap together on the road. The Grizzlies are 12-20 on the road this season. 12-20. Steven Adams says, guys, no more going out, no more partying. We've got to focus when it comes to road games. We've got to handle our business on the road. We're great at home. We're great in front of the Memphis fans. But when we get on the road, we suck.
And honestly,
nah.
And that's what breaks my heart, seeing how much the team loves Adams and respects him. All he asked was one thing.
Yes.
To quit partying.
Yes.
And besides, you're in the last 20 games of the regular season. You should be tunnel vision to the playoffs.
Absolutely.
You're already in a battle for the 2 seed to secure home court advantage in the second round, which is super crucial if you want to go to the Western Conference Finals. I will say this now, and I mean this. You have a small window in any professional sports to be competitive. As a
Yes.
pro athlete, you have 3 to 5 years at your peak, and we are
Yep.
wasting everybody's window right now.
Yep.
Jaren is having a career year. Bane is having a career year. Your reserves are stepping up and playing the role. Granted, our shooting's not there still, but guess what? You are a team everybody's afraid to play
Yes.
because you're not afraid of a little competition.
Because you're the mouthiest team in the league.
And I'm fine with that.
And I love it too. But it comes a point in time where you need to back up the talk.
So another thing got released was the fact Ja during the bubble said he just feels like he's by himself.
Yep.
He goes home and he just feels like he has no one to talk to.
He's just lonely.
Well, so a lot of people have given Ja, a lot of Grizzly fans I know don't like Ja. They think he's a great player, but they don't like him because Ja's one of those guys. He doesn't do autographs. He doesn't not like I was at the Hustle game a couple weeks, like 2 weeks ago. He
Yeah,
didn't
you were telling
acknowledge
us this.
he didn't acknowledge a single kid. He didn't wave to anybody when they were yelling his name when it was dead quiet. He just looked at him and went back to his phone. Like wave to him. So he's also the only guy that was not at. I was reading this on Grizzlies Nation Facebook group. A lot of season ticket holders were pissed about it because they don't like the fact that he won't go to the MVP events.
Yeah.
He's the only Grizzly that does not go to them. Don't
Which
know why, but you need to start giving back a little bit more. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And with that, I mean, you said in the bubble, he says, I'm always by myself. I don't hang out with people. There are plenty of opportunities for you to be in the crowd, like in a good way, like show your face, be there for the fans, hang out with
And
your teammates. And he doesn't do it.
he goes to hustle games all the time, but he doesn't ever acknowledge anybody. Like, I tried to get his autograph his rookie year before he was on no one. He wouldn't even look at me.
Yeah.
And to this day, that still kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
And then you look at Jaren. See, look at everybody else on the bench. They will sign autographs for days if they have the time to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I don't get it.
The last time I saw Ja sign autographs was his rookie year at the summer league.
Yeah.
And then Jaren came over and joined. But like, people are trying to help you, but you got to want to get help. And I hope right now, I don't know you, Ja. I love you. You got to get help, man. And I pray you find help right now.
Yes.
You have too much talent to piss away.
And you have an entire like you said, we know job, we know you're not listening, anything like that, but you have an entire city behind you. We love you. We want you to get the help you need, but you've got to take that first step, my guy.
So basically, we don't know when he'll be back. I don't expect him to be back till the NBA concludes their investigation. They're going to do something.
Oh yeah, yeah. A suspension at the very least is on its way. I promise
He
you that.
will get suspended, and you just pray and hope maybe it's next year
Yeah.
because you need him terribly for a playoff run.
Yes.
Because Kennedy Chandler is not ready to take. He
Back
still
up
needs.
over.
I still think he needs another half a year in the G League, but he's not quite there yet.
No. He's on his way, but not yet.
So I don't know what you do going forward. It's too late to make a trade. There's really nobody veteran wise I would go get, but it sucks.
Yeah, it does.
It's funny how I was telling Mitch this earlier. 3 months ago, we were saying, hey, we have a great shot. Or sorry, 3-4 months ago, December, we have a great shot to win the NBA championship this year.
Yep.
And now you're just hoping you can hang on.
Hoping you're hanging on to a 3 seed.
Right now, we have a half a game lead over Sacramento right now. And then road stretches suck. We suck at them.
Yes.
I went through the schedule today. I say there's maybe 11 solid games we can win. And those 11 games will put you at 50 total wins for the year.
Yep.
Where will 50 get you? I don't know.
And someone was talking about that, just a little bit of a side note. Somebody was saying last week, I think it was, at one point in time, 50 wins would get you the 8th seed.
Oh, yeah, during the grit and grind days. Eric texted me and said he made a great point to this. He misses the old veteran teams.
Yes.
But luckily with the BC injury, Tillman has been playing really great lately. So
Yes, he has. Yeah, shout out to Tillman for sure.
Sunday night, I knew we were going to lose going into it, but man, you saw that 51. I was sitting here on my recliner watching it, that 51-point third quarter. I was like, holy crap, we may actually win.
Yeah.
And then we fell apart with a 17-point fourth quarter.
Yeah, we were texting about the next morning.
To lose by 6.
Yeah. I caught the end of the third quarter when we were up by, I don't remember how many it was, but it was a pretty healthy lead. And then slowly the Clippers start chipping away, got it to about 4, I think. Either 4 or 6.
It was 6.
And I turned it off. I was like, I told my wife, I said, we're going to lose this game. I can't watch anymore. I'm going to bed. And sure enough, we lost by 6.
Well, you got good looks from the guys that you are expecting to take over full time. Jaren had 24 points, 2 of 5 from 3 and 5 rebounds. Tyus Jones, 25 points, 5 of 7 from 3, 12 assists. And Desmond Bain, 30 points, 6 assists, 4 of 9 from 3. Didn't have Dylan Brooks. Dylan, because he picked up his 16th technical foul Friday night. And so every 2 technicals he gets the rest of the season, he sits out again.
Yep. Which I honestly think teams know that now. And I think they're going to.
You got to be smart.
I think teams are going to try to get under DB's skin. Because, again, I'm not sure DB has the maturity to not let it get to him.
I agree with you there. So let's jump to some more NBA news. Last night, I stayed up and watched it. We had a great game, and the Celtics and Cavs went to overtime. How about the fact Grant Williams looked at Donovan Mitchell with 0.8 seconds left? The game was tied and said, I'm going to make these mother effing free throws. And then missed the first one, and the game was over.
Missed the first one.
How about that? That's funny. Karma.
Just insanity to me. I mean, you've always heard pride goes before the fall. That just kind of solidifies it right there.
The Heat are starting to click at the right time. The Kings just keep winning, and that's what scares me. They blew out the Pelicans 123-108.
Yeah.
And right now, like I said, half a game behind us. The Bucks are a team. If I had to put my own right now, I'd pick them to win the NBA Finals.
I agree with that. I think the Bucks are going to be tough for anybody they play. The Eastern Conference or Western Conference in the Finals for sure.
The Mavs are starting to cook more and more, but I just feel like in a 7-game series in the playoffs, you're not going to have to worry about them that much.
No.
Hey, how about did you see the Scotty Barnes thing?
No.
So he was talking to himself, and he got a technical foul. And then he started arguing again, and he got teed up, and they ejected him.
What?
Yeah, they teed up. He was like walking, and he's like, I was talking myself.
That's insanity.
So we have a big game tonight against the Lakers, the LeBron-less Lakers. So
Mhm.
fingers crossed. It came down to the wire last time we played them without LeBron and
Yep.
D'Angelo Russell. So let's just pray we can. Jaren and Desmond can carry the team,
Yeah. That's all we can do.
and
It's all
DB
we
doesn't shoot us out of the game.
Yeah. No kidding.
So let's jump into our last segment. March Madness is literally Selection Sunday is Sunday, 4 days
Yes.
away. I'm excited. Conference tournaments are
Much
going on.
much happier
Much
topic of
happier.
conversation.
But before we watch it, talk about it, Starkey, we have news.
Yes, we
We
do.
have a sponsorship.
Yeah, we do.
Starkey, when I'm gonna watch March Madness in my home, I'm gonna do it under a safe roof.
I would think so. I mean, you wouldn't want to do it under an unsafe roof.
Exactly. So, folks, whether you're buying or selling your home, we've been saying this for 52 episodes now. Call Porch to Patio Home Inspecting for all your home inspection needs. Use code BALLDON'TLIE or BDL15 for a 15% discount. And call.
Mitch.
Who are we going to call?
We're gonna call Mitch.
Exactly, folks. You can find him on Facebook. Give him a call. He's a great guy. You're gonna love him. He'll come. He's licensed in both Mississippi and Tennessee. He's looking for realtors to partner up with. I'll tell you what, folks. Business is booming for him.
Yes.
But I promise you, he will always have time for you.
Yes,
For
absolutely.
those not watching, I pointed at the camera, so he always has time for you. Say Jared or Starkey sent me, and he will take care of you. He'll
Yes.
make you the number one priority, and he's not afraid to get dirty during that home inspection.
No, we love Mitch. Call Mitch. Use him.
We've only
Promise
generated
we're not
some.
disappointed.
I'm going to say we generated some business for him. I can't take all the credit, but we generated decent amount of business for him. I would say, hopefully.
I hope so.
I would hope so too. So, folks, call Mitch. Find him on Facebook at Porch to Patio Home Inspections. We love them. We will guarantee use them for our next home purchase.
Yep, 100%.
Folks, let's get into it. Senior Day was Sunday all across the country.
Yep.
Memphis, the Forum was packed. It felt like old times.
And it was rocking.
Did I tell you I got asked to go last second?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, my cousin-in-law called me at 10:30 Saturday night and was like, "Hey, you want to go to the game?" I had to say no. I had to go be a dad and go to the
Yeah.
zoo.
I mean, it's kind of important.
It is, but you're like, dang. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't miss a chance to go see her first zoo visit that she fell asleep during. Yeah, we maybe were
That's
30
about
minutes in
right.
the zoo. She fell asleep in the stroller, and then she woke up when we were leaving. I'm like, oh, perfect. But man,
Great timing there, Hart. Great timing.
that was an amazing game.
Yes, it was.
Crowd was ecstatic. The Memphis players knew what was at stake.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, they did.
And dude, I was live streaming it during church. Yeah. But man, if I'm Memphis, I'm not upset. That was a great game. Malcolm Dandridge gave you the minutes we've been waiting on the Malcolm forever.
Yes.
He finally looked the hype Memphis East Malcolm.
Yes, finally.
The biggest thing that got us was 3-point shooting. Not having Keontae Kennedy, I would say, killed us.
Absolutely. Yes. We missed his shooting tremendously Sunday.
But I will say, Penny, if you don't make Chandler and Jonathan didn't have a good game. He didn't shoot any. If you don't make Chandler and Jonathan more involved in the game flow, come tournament time, What the crap are you doing?
Right.
Like, these two are your team next year, more than likely, unless DeAndre Williams comes back for a 5th year.
I mean, we've said it before. He can get more in NIL money than they can overseas.
Or he'll get in the G League, but I
I
think
think
he'll
he'll
be
be.
back. I've been told that it's looking very good that he'll be back.
I think he'll be back too.
But dude, you played amazing. You got killed because you can't shoot, and that's been our issue. But our defense is what keeps us in the game.
Yes.
The fact that we shot a Memphis team outshot a top team from the free throw line is the best thing ever.
Yes. Which, when did you ever think that you would hear the words Memphis Tigers and outscoring an opponent from the free throw line in the same sentence?
Never. And you held their best player to 13 points.
Yes.
Marcus Caesar. You held him to 13 points.
Incredible.
So there were some controversial calls to that game. Before we get to that, my dad wanted me to say, because he agrees with Penny on this. Penny was pissed at his players. Houston apparently walked through their line and all that during warm-ups. And that Penny was pissed that his players did not get mad about this. And he used this as a sign of aggression. And they didn't take it to them. So that upset Penny that he didn't see the dogs come out in his players.
Yeah.
But you took it to him. So the last play of the game, that was a push-off.
Absolutely a push-off.
Anybody says. I forgot who was guarding him, but there's no way why the defender went back 3 times after 3 feet after you dribble the ball and it went backwards.
No.
I knew the refs weren't going to make a call. So I rewatched. I'm like, okay, I know why they didn't make the call because it's the last play it's in a big game. They're not going to make it.
No, but it was absolutely a missed call for sure.
And then there was an inbound where a Houston player was over the line and touched the ball.
Yes.
When a Memphis Tiger was inbounding it from the sidelines.
If you look at it from the overhead shot, the ball never even left out of bounds. And the Houston player is just swatting it back.
He didn't even lift his hand yet.
By
and
the
that should have
rule,
been a technical foul.
Should have been a technical. Yes, absolutely. And they said, even the CBS Sports guys like Jim Nantz and all those guys, they were saying that's supposed to be a technical foul. And the refs were just, we didn't say anything.
So it was a great game. Memphis balled out. They showed out. And I know we've been down them all year, but I will say it. I'm going to say it again. This Memphis team is going to be a tough out.
I hope so, man. I really do. I think they will too. I'm just eager to see who we're going to get in the what region we're going to be in, and who we get in first round.
So that actually is a great leads into our next segment. I want to get to Arkansas real fast. Arkansas played Kentucky. Super controversial game. Oscar Thiesway should have been ejected in the first 5 minutes of the game. Threw an elbow to Makeel Mitchell. Even the announcers were saying he should be ejected. That's a flagrant. I think it's a flagrant one. Was it flagrant one to get ejected, right?
I think it's 2.
So they're like, yeah, that's a flagrant 2. He should be ejected. Nope, they just call it double technical. And you're like, even the actor's like, what is going on? He was like, what?
Makes no sense.
And then Devo Davis was fighting through a screen. It was a moving pick. They didn't call it. They called a foul on Devo Davis. He said something. He was fired up. He said something. He was walking to the bench, standing there, and said something else. They ejected him. So we lost our best defender and sometimes our best shooter. We still should have won the game, but the refs were not letting us get near it.
Right.
Yeah. So, like you said, let's get into Memphis now. Bracketology. This is where you're going to start seeing teams clinch their bracket this week. Memphis, I believe that with that SMU win last week, they are a lock. But to solidify themselves even more, they need to win at least one game in the conference tournament, and they will play the winner of UCF SMU 7-10 game.
Yep.
And then hopefully they'll play Tulane. They'll finally beat Tulane, and then I want Houston. And I think we will be.
I want Houston so bad.
So I've been doing more reading, more looking, and listening to podcasts and articles. We are still anywhere from a 7 to an 11 seed.
Yep.
I think if we get the 7 seed, you have to win out and win convincingly.
Yes.
So per bracketology, right now, on Jerry Palm, I like him a little more than Joe Lombardi. He has Memphis as a 10 seed playing Iowa State.
That would be an incredible game.
And then we would play the winner of Marquette and Vermont.
So more than likely Marquette.
And if I'm Memphis, I want to be a 10 seed way more than an 8-9. I get it, you want to be higher up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you win your 8-9, you're playing a number one team in the country. You're playing a number one seed.
Right.
And it's either going to be Kansas, Purdue, or Alabama.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the Purdue or be Kansas because they don't want you playing Bama or Houston again.
Right. So
Because that could potentially be the 4th time you play Houston in a year.
Yeah. And that.
So I will automatically say we will not be in Houston's bracket.
No. That's pretty safe to say for sure. Yes.
But this Memphis team, their defense will carry them. They will go as far as their defense and Kendrick Davis takes them.
Yes.
So that leads me to one thing I want to talk about is matchups. So forever, Memphis was a tournament team none of us had to worry about. And we always kept saying, hey, if they get a good seed in the tournaments under the past years, they can make a run with Joe Jackson, Chris Crawford, DJ Steffens, Tarek Black, all of them. You can make a great run.
Teams are special.
You were a run up and down the court team. You had and we had Shaq Goodwin and Adonis Thomas.
Yeah.
So let's go to the 2013-2012 season. Or 2012-2013 season. You went 31-5, 16-0 in Conference USA. But you did have a lot of key wins that year. Oh, you also had, oh my gosh, we had Jaron Johnson.
Yeah.
You had a lot of key wins. You beat Tennessee at Tennessee. You beat Harvard. Remember, Harvard was at early 2000s, 2010s. Harvard was good at basketball.
Yeah.
You had a lot of good wins, but you got the worst matchup when you got a 6 seed and you had to play Michigan State in the second round, led by Adrian Payne. You know what happened? We got run out at the Palace of Auburn Hills, 70-48.
Yeah.
That was Joe Jackson's junior year. Senior year, you're thinking, okay, I still don't understand why we did this. This was the 4-guard year. Still the dumbest year of my life.
Yeah, I still know what was going through Josh's head with that year.
But
pace, I guess, maybe.
I guess pace and defense, because you had Jaron, who was 6. Honestly, let's go through it. Joe was 6'1". That was questionable.
Yeah.
Chris Crawford was 6'4". Michael Dixon was 6'1", and Jaron Johnson was 6'3". So you're starting 4 guys there under 6 foot, under 6'4".
Yeah.
And then you started Shaq Goodwin or Austin Nichols. It was usually Austin Nichols, and they said, yeah, hey, Michael, you're coming off the bench. And then it was Shaq and Austin Nichols, and that was great. You were killing it.
Yeah.
That year, you got an 8 seed. You went 24-10. In the first year of the American Athletic, you got the 4 seed. You were the 4-team American. And they ended up getting another terrible matchup. Virginia. And what happened? They got run out of the gym by Virginia. So, honestly, this is the same thing for any team in March Madness. Look at those two teams. Those Memphis teams. They were going to run the ball down. They were possession teams.
Yep.
They were going to run the ball down. They were run up and down the courts. They wanted chaos. You play the wrong matchup, like a Virginia or the Michigan State team. It was, hey, we're going to slow the ball down, take good shots, get the shot clock down to 10 seconds. That way you can't run, and it gives us time to set up our defense. And we're not going to play. We're going to meet you at the half court marker. You get those wrong matchups every year, you're an automatic. You could be looking at an L. That's how upsets happen.
Yep.
So, last night I watched Charleston, the Cougars. I'm a big Cougar fan now. I'm not Zach Wilson, but I'm a big Charleston Cougars fan.
There it is.
I thought I had to get a Zach Wilson joke in there somehow.
Like, how long have you been waiting to use that one?
I just thought of it on the spot.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. But dude, they are so good. They're. I get flashbacks to that Memphis team. They're a way better shooting team than those Memphis teams were. But holy crap, they like to run.
Yes.
We've had several teams punch their ticket into March Madness already. Kennesaw State, the first ever from the A-Sun. UNC Asheville is returning. Last time they were in the tourney was 2016. Drake is coming back from Missouri Valley. Farley Dickinson is making their 7th appearance. The last one was in 2019. Southeast Missouri State, SEMO. Last second overall appearance. 2000 was their last appearance. Furman is making their first appearance since 1980. And Louisiana Raging Cajuns are returning back to the tourney for the first time since 2014.
And then at the end of the show, have a little bit of news about a team that won their conference but is ineligible for the postseason. And I want to.
Well, let's go ahead and say it.
Okay. So news just broke that Merrimack just won the NEC tournament.
What is that? Northeastern Athletic Conference?
Sure. I'm not familiar with the NEC. I'm not going to lie to you. But
you said it was the NEC?
The NEC, yes.
NEC.
Yes.
The Northeast. Okay, yeah. So so that's how Farley Dickinson got in.
Yes. So Merrimack just won the conference. But due to the NCAA's ridiculous rule that teams transitioning from D2 to D1 have to have this 4-year transition period, and during that time they're ineligible for the postseason, they could go undefeated. They could be the number 1 team in the country. But if it falls within that transition period, they are ineligible for the postseason. The same thing happened to James Madison this year in the football season. You remember how good James Madison was this year?
Yeah.
Because of this ridiculous NCAA rule, they were ineligible for a bowl game. Same thing with poor Merrimack. Free Merrimack.
Hey, I got a question. Is Eastern Michigan eligible for a tournament, or are they
I'm going to just go out on a limb and say no, they are not.
Okay, because their record's 8-23.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make a postseason when you can't even win 9 games.
And they lost by 19 points in their conference tournament. Hey, but they got Amani Bates. Hey,
they do have Amani Bates. But
Kidding,
sorry,
he's garbage.
Ran over. Let me just say, free Merrimack.
So you have a lot of bubble teams, and somehow Arkansas, with all the crap we got going on, hey, we may make it.
I think y'all will, man. I really do. Y'all are top 20 in the net. Great roster. I think y'all are a lock. It just depends on what seed.
It just sucks because going into the year, man, I was like, we're a Final Four team this year.
Yeah. Oh, you were ready to hang a banner.
I had a banner already made. And then Nick Smith injury, and then Trevon Brazil tore his ACL. Then I'm like, oh my God, our best two players.
Yeah.
So looking more at the bracketology, right now they still have Purdue, Kansas, Bama, and Houston at their ones. The last four in are Penn State, Mississippi State, Utah State, and Michigan. I think Michigan's only a team just because of their name.
Yeah.
I already asked you this earlier, but some of the first four teams out are Wisconsin, 17 and 13, Oklahoma State, UNZ, and Arizona State. Those are your bubble teams right there. So kind of looking overall at different brackets, I would say the consensus bubble teams that have to win at least 1 to 2 conference games are Mississippi State,
Yep.
Utah State,
Yep.
Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma State are your bubble teams, and UNC. UNC, I was reading, they have to win at least 3 games to have a good shot at making it.
Yep.
This will be the first time since 2000 and the 2001 season where UNC has missed back-to-back tournaments.
That's insane. That's ridiculous whenever you think of just the history of UNC and how incredible they've been.
So, right now I have... Go ahead.
It goes to show how badly they're missing Roy Williams right now.
So, right now I'm reading, and it's amazing. They were literally the national championship last year.
Yeah.
They were they were literally 5 minutes away from winning it. Or half, really. So I'm looking at right now. So the ACC has 3 locks guaranteed: Virginia, Miami, and Duke.
Yep.
Pittsburgh, NC State, and UNC have to at least win 1 to 2, and UNC has to win 3 conference games minimum to make it. The Big 12, stacked.
Yes.
Kansas, Texas, Baylor, and Kansas State are all projected to be anywhere from a 1 seed to a 3 seed in every bracket I've looked at.
Yep.
They're predicting the West Virginia Mountaineers to barely make it in. The Big East, you're looking at getting Marquette, Xavier, UConn, Creighton, and Providence all in. The Big Ten, a lot of teams here: Purdue, Indiana, Maryland, Northwestern, Michigan State, Iowa, and Illinois. Rutgers, Penn State, Wisconsin, and Michigan, all your little bubble teams there.
Yeah.
That have to win a couple games in the tournament to win. The Pac-12, super down here in basketball.
Yes, it is.
Right now, there's only 2 guaranteed locks: Arizona and UCLA. Oregon has fallen hard this year. This is going to be back-to-back years since Dana, I think in 10 years since they've missed the tournament.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And you think they started off the year. They started off the year ranked number 21 in the country and lost their second game of the year. And since then, they've been a downward spiral.
Yep.
SEC, the only outside teams looking in there are Auburn and Mississippi State. And just like your other teams that are locks, like your non-major teams are Gonzaga and St. Mary's, and teams that have to win their conference tournaments to get in. FAU, Oral Roberts, Charleston, North Texas, all have to win their conference tournaments to get in.
Yeah.
Gonzaga and St. Mary's are safe. But North Texas, Charleston, Oral Roberts, and FAU have to win their tournaments to get it. You saw it with Southern Miss, your Eagles.
Yeah,
They screwed themselves losing by 15 points to South Alabama.
I know. It makes no sense.
March 8th. They lost to the 8th seed.
Yep.
They should have won. Should have, could have, would have. I will do more bracket stuff. Next week's pretty much going to be a bracket show.
Maybe we'll have our college basketball insider next week. Hopefully. Not sure.
He's a busy man, apparently.
He is a busy man. We'll have to see.
Too busy for his boys. I hope he listens, and I hope he heard that. We were day ones, but now we're just been. It's okay. It's okay. You're doing the Lord's work. That's fine.
He is.
I didn't get this earlier before we wrap up the show because I think that's about it for college wise, unless you have any sleeper teams you want to discuss.
No.
Any Ole Miss basketball news, Mr. Diehard Ole Miss fan?
Not this week.
I know Chris Beard was in or he was in. No, he didn't get. And I'm sorry. I read on 24/7 that he didn't make Oxford.
He was interviewed more than likely somewhere outside of Oxford. According to sources, he is actually staying in the Jackson area at the moment.
Really?
He's renting a house in Jackson, has been staying in Jackson. So
Okay.
nothing.
Isn't that where the Tiger Woods clinic was that he went for rehab?
He's in Hattiesburg.
Close enough. Hey.
Somebody else made the same connection. About an hour north of there, hour and a half north of there.
So that's what he's doing down there. I just know you really want him. I want Dustin as the only Ole Miss alum on the show that hates Ole Miss. I want Dustin May as the coach.
Because you don't want Ole Miss to have nice things.
No, I just think Dustin May fits the culture. Why do you want a coach that has a drinking problem in the number one party school in the country?
I don't. I want the one that got in trouble for paying players, which is illegal now. We should have hired Will Wade yesterday. I don't want Chris Beard. I want that on record.
I keep forgetting you're the Will Wade guy.
I'm the Will Wade guy. The only thing Will Wade did wrong is pay a player, and that's legal now. Hire the man.
It is funny that Chris Beard's getting more looks before Will Wade is.
Yes, it makes no sense to me. I do not understand.
Okay, we didn't mention this earlier with the whole Ja thing. We're talking about college basketball because I have 2 more points I want to get to tonight.
Okay.
How is it that police are investigating Ja Morant and the gun when it wasn't used for murder, but Brandon Miller still hasn't been summoned? Nothing's happened with that. He literally there's documentation again, Starkey. I say this every week. This guy literally gave his buddy the gun and said, it's loaded. He knew what it was going to be used for. And he's still not getting investigated.
The Tuscaloosa Police Department does not know what they're doing.
Does Alabama have better lawyers than the Grizzlies?
It would appear so.
Do we need to we need to figure out who Alabama's using as for lawyers and get them for 12.
Yes.
Because I just thought about that, like, on my way home from work, like, John's getting investigated by police, but Brandon Miller still hasn't, and there's literally documentation saying, here's the gun, it's fully loaded, do your thing.
Yeah. There's a legitimate chance when I believe tomorrow, the next day when the SEC awards come out, there's a legitimate chance that Brandon Miller could be the SEC Player of the Year.
He should be.
But it's insane with everything going on. He should not be playing any more basketball this season.
And I feel like that's taken a back step to everything. Like, people are forgetting this guy literally gave his gun which no one still knows if it's his gun.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Makes no sense. But hey, it's neither here nor there. So the last thing I want to talk about is the LA Lakers are retiring Pau Gasol's jersey.
Yep.
I don't like the fact they're retiring his jersey before we are.
I don't either, but I kind of understand because the Grizzlies were waiting so long because they said the first four numbers retired are going to be the core four.
Well, heck, we can't retire Tony. Tony keeps getting in trouble.
This is very true. So
Tony wants all his legal issues to go away before we do his.
So whenever the Grizzlies do
And
decide
Mike
to,
won't quit playing.
that's very true as well. But I think it's coming at some point. But we just have to get all the core forward taken care of first.
So, do you agree he should be retired?
Yeah, I've kind of gone back and forth about it, but I think the thing that really solidified it for me was you and I were talking stats before the show tonight. And in his 7 seasons as a Grizzly, he averaged 18 and 8, 2 blocks a game.
Well, so if you round up, it was 19 and 9.
Okay, 19 and 9, 2 blocks.
If you want to get technical here,
hey,
he was your first star player, your first
Yes.
NBA All-Star. He led you to your first playoff appearance. Here's the thing: he just played on crap teams half his time in Memphis.
Yes, and something that I think goes overlooked, especially when it comes to Powell, is he's an incredible ambassador for the game, bar none. But if it wasn't for Powell going to the Lakers, we wouldn't have the core four. Because when we traded Powell to the Lakers, we got the rights to Mark.
No, I agree with you there.
So if it meant giving up at the time the franchise's best player to get the core four and all the playoff runs, the memories.
Remember, he wanted out of Memphis because he wanted to win.
That's true. So,
by the way, that was still the first NBA jersey I got. And then a week later, they traded him.
Oof.
Yeah. Still love that jersey. Any closing remarks, any final thoughts on the whole Ja thing you want to say? Because, heck, who knows what could happen in a week?
Yeah. Who knows what could happen tomorrow? But just, Ja, get some help, dude. That's all.
Please get some help. So that's really going to do it for tonight's show, folks. Just some topics going in. Selection Sunday is Sunday. Brackets start that night. You have until the first game on Thursday at 11 a.m. to get your final brackets in.
Yep. Make as many as you can.
We will go over them. We will do some fun ones. We will do some serious ones. We will do some breakdowns of the regions.
Yep.
Hopefully, we don't have any more NBA news to talk about for next week's show.
Hopefully not.
My heart can only take so much.
Yes.
That's going to do it for tonight's show. We hope to see you back next week, better than ever. It's going to be a college night, so get ready for it. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.